That's no surprise.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
Zach,
yeah.
I was gonna say like I'm not gonna like call out or pinpoint which
Oh, go ahead.
recording what we're talking about. No, it's okay. But I was gonna say there is when I was in the studio with you recently, we were kind of reminiscing about years back, and I've done at least 3 albums with you before that on drums. Then this was a fourth one, and we were
Easily the smoothest.
yeah, thank you, man, and it was fun. Yeah, but it was funny. We were talking about, and there was some. I I want you to just air like just some funny stories or dirt or anything you got on me, dude. Like you're like, oh, I remember
Sure.
like there was
Sure.
that time
He's
where
like,
you
sure.
just like
I love it. I love
totally. I was like, what are you even playing? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is like so bad
It
or
wasn't
something.
directed at you as much as at your band. So when you did Cryptic Implosion, I was like, this guy came in and he fucking just nailed stuff, and I knew you had really good ability as a drummer, and I was really happy with how that record goes. And then the Decrepit Birth stuff comes around, and you're like woefully unprepared and reading off sheet music, and that's record
it.
one.
Yep.
And everybody's like, well, okay, this is all really last second. Matt just gave me the songs. I'm like, then why are we recording now? Like, well, it's like I've never recorded a drummer before that's like in a serious group that was. I mean, I've done plenty since because this is way more common these days. But like to
He's just ahead
for
of his
people to
time.
just pass guitar pros around and like be like,
Yeah.
here, learn this part, and then guys don't necessarily have them. That's a new phenomenon though. This is what 2007, I guess, probably.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, why are you here? Like, why would you pay me a daily rate to be here just to not know the songs yet and like be struggling through them, especially because I knew you could play them, but like you like it's Decrepit Birth. It's not easy, and like you had never literally heard what you were about to be doing. So fast forward a few years, probably I guess 2009 or 10 now. We're on album two. The last record we did is pretty successful, and things are going great. And I assume you guys are like, okay, this is the record where everybody gets their shit together. No, it was way
No.
less prepared. Like
Yeah,
less
way
was
less.
ready. It was only half written. There's a few part songs that are just riffs that they had you improvise over, right?
This is
Like,
polarity, right?
yeah, this is the
Yeah.
album Polarity. And I mean, Matt probably had everything together in his head, but he had apparently. I mean, I think your side of this is that you didn't get this all until last minute. But once
It was like
again, you're
last
in this
second. It
new
was last
sheet
second.
music that you're turning
No-
pages while playing bass beats.
No
Which
co-
I'm
no
just like,
comment.
no.
Well, I know Matt literally
You
like
did
he
ask
was.
for this.
There was probably.
Oh no,
I know,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying.
no,
I'm not saying
that's-
anything. I'm just like,
I
thank
love
you.
it.
Go
I
ahead.
love it.
You
No,
were
but I
saying
know that Matt was like, just for even me doing like the limited bass stuff I did on it because
Yeah.
I didn't even know the songs. Like when it went to the studio, he just kind of like finished the album real quick and we went to the studio and like came out great, but it was like didn't ever hear these songs, so it was like, well, I guess that's gonna be all you, dude, because I have one day to learn like 9 songs. It's not or 5 songs. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean?
And
So it
that's
was
what
like,
bugs me. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
bothered because it's like, oh, these guys are sloppy or something. No, that would never bother me. Like I've worked with, I love working with musicians that like,
Dude, that's
I like
incredible.
helping people sound better than they can
Yeah.
actually play. I don't have any problem working that. That wasn't the issue I had with this. Is like, you were an elite drummer. Matt was an elite guitar player. You
Mm.
guys were this band with all this like talent, and you had songs, but like at no point before coming to me had you actually rehearsed or like played them even once. And I'm like, that's obviously not
it's a
the
true
best way
story.
to go about things.
No. So
Yeah, it's true.
one thing I'll say that's pretty funny is so there's that song like I think it's Metatron or something, and
Yeah.
that was a
Mhm.
song that was I never played live. So that was a song that was I think we played Polarity and a couple
Symbiosis.
Symbiosis. We played some of those like those songs off Polarity live like towards the end. But I was leaving the band, and so I was doing the album like and then I left the band. But basically, we never played that song live, and then I think I remember like it was a Gabe or somebody was talking about like songs that they like to play or something, and like, oh yeah, like Metatron and this or something. I don't remember who was talking about it, and I was just
Bye,
like,
Gabe.
I don't even know how that song goes. Like honestly, like I really don't, dude. But I should.
yeah.
Like it's so funny. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
listen
That
to
was like the
Clarity.
first single from the record, I think.
yeah. I think it might have been. Yeah,
But there's
Yeah,
some times I
crazy.
listen to it and I'm like, oh wow, this is a cool song. I wish I like knew how it went. Like but it just dude, Matt is I have to say even though that's like hard to do that, like or that's chaotic, like recording a lot of songs like right off the bat, but that dude wrote like so many songs so fast,
So
and
quick.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
no.
insane, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
None of that's what I'm complaining about here.
No, I know,
It's the
I'm just,
communication
no.
in the
I'm
band.
just, I'm just
Preparation going
No,
in.
no,
is
I
you're
love
talking
what you're
about.
saying. I'm just saying on my end.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a prep thing, and like
yeah.
Totally, dude.
it's not. It's nowhere near like. Oh man, see, like that is the problem that you just brought up. It's like, yeah, there's good stories, but like, some of them are too specific, and I
I
don't want to
know.
like
That's
call out
okay.
some random
That's
band. But
okay.
like,
But yeah, if
okay,
it's not us,
I'm
then
just trying to think of what needs to be removed. So like, there's a band that was doing a cover song of a very popular song on a album, on a record, on a big label, and I know this song they're covering really well. Have probably known how to play it since I was like 14. And they come in, they're like, "Cool, yeah, we didn't really like think this, we didn't like learn it too well or anything, but you know, like we've got it. You know, it's this, it's such and
It's a
such, and we know
cover.
how to play it, right?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Cool." And they play it. I'm like, I don't think like every riff was like the weird Kirkland brand version of the riff. It wasn't like quite right. And I was like,
Shout out
fuck.
Kirkland brand, bro, dude.
And like
oh my god.
I also warned them. I'm like, you know, these cover songs. I say this to bands all the time. Like, you think it's gonna be something you could just tack on the record. I bet you'll spend the most time on. They're like, no way, no way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
And then like they absolutely spent the most time on it. I end up having to like play parts, and I was like, you cannot put this out. We made it like really far, and I'm like, I'm thinking about this as a band for you guys. Like, this could be a really bad thing if you put this out, because it's like you put
love
out
it.
like a famous song with parts that are just like a little bit off all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, just like
Yeah.
the wrong notes, like all, like you're just gonna look foolish. Like, it's not okay. We're gonna have to go through this and analyze and get it right.
Did they take your advice and not put it out?
Yeah, we also had time in this particular case because, like I said, it was a big label recording and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, that's the kind of stuff that will drive me nuts in the studio, because I'm like, you have to think about those kind of decisions before
Yeah.
you actually commit to like, oh, we're gonna cover, I don't know, Stairway to Heaven, but we're gonna play it like totally wrong. Like, that's a bad idea.
And with some
I love
blasphemy.
covers that are adaptive, like, you know, like you're doing like a death metal version of Madonna or something. Sure, whatever. But like, we're
Yeah,
talking like a death metal version of death metal, and you just play it wrong. No one is gonna forgive you for that.
Yeah,
They're gonna
yeah.
give you so much shit.